Alrighty, so I've cracked it open just to save a little bit of the effort and a little bit of the struggle to get the box open. So here is the submission results. Now I can see right there from the center that there's going to be some that are going to have the dreaded, couldn't grade for whatever reason. So we're going to find out a little bit about that. But let me grab the stuff here and I'll pile it up and we'll find out at the same time what's going on with these. Alrighty, so as not to spoil things for myself, I put the little plastic on top. But now these are the ones that for whatever reason weren't graded. So let's find out what's going on with these. It's disappointing, but we're going to see exactly what they had in mind or what the issue was. We're going to find out. All right. Okay, well, it looks like... All right, so they included a couple of the ones because I had a couple of reholdered ones that were in Beckett, so actually that's a good thing. That's not an issue. But it looks like we got this one here. Evidence of trimming from 1952 Parkhurst Terry Sawchuck. Evidence of trimming. Interesting. We got the tape on it. I have to have another look at this one. I don't know about that, but I suppose, maybe. Yeah, in fairness, I haven't looked at this one as thoroughly as I could have. So this was a 52 Parkhurst Terry Sawchuck I bought years ago, but I guess I didn't look at it that closely. I'll follow up and I'll take a closer look at that, but, I can live with that at least, so that's fair. And then it looks like one of my T206s was no good. So, Jim McGinley, no holder. All right, you lost me. I don't actually know what that means. Huh, interesting. It is a really beat-up example, but I just wanted to kind of add it to my set of Toronto players, but no holder. That is a new one for me. Not sure what that is actually supposed to mean. I suppose, though, it could have been worse, so 2 out of 12. So, all things considered, I would rather have been able to have all of them graded, but if that's the worst that happens, I'm kind of okay with it. So, let's take a look at the first one here. Nice. All right, so first, let me kind of back it up a little bit here. Just this up ever so slightly. There we go. Okay, Alright, so we've got the 1957 Topps Mickey Mantle. Not surprisingly, it's graded a poor 1. Obviously, paper loss, it's not a high condition example, so I'm not terribly surprised by that, so I'm completely okay with it. That's the first one. Alright, this is one I wanted to get in a newer holder. So here we go, 55 Topps, Sandy Koufax rookie. So the issue with this one actually is that Beckett had it in completely the wrong holder. So that's part of the reason I got that one back. But 55 Topps Koufax, so now this one is going to go into my collection. It is a poor condition card, but it's still a Sandy Koufax rookie. So very few complaints from me. Now my battery is dying, so I'm going to come back and I'll kind of go from where I left off. So we'll continue from the Koufax. Alright, battery's charged, so let's go from where we left off. So... next card is a 56 Topps Mickey Mantle. That's a PSA 1. So that's a card I've already had in my collection for a while. You can see you got the lovely pinhole here. But I definitely wanted to get this one graded, and it is one of my favorites from my complete set. At some point I probably will upgrade a bunch of the star cards, but before I do, they're likely going to end up in PSA holders as well. Just a good way of having them in a nice standard holder, especially for the higher end cards in the set. Alright, next one. This is a bit of a disappointment. So this is a 97 Bowman Roy Halladay. I had it in my collection for a while. I think I just didn't look at the black borders is really tough. But nonetheless, it's going to stay in the collection, so I'm not too broken up about it. But that's a near mint 8. And obviously with the black borders, it's pretty easy to chip it. Back seems alright. I looked and the centering seemed fine, but I think if I'm looking at it a little closer, I think there's a little nick, a little piece of white here in the bottom corner. And that's really going to stand out in the black one. But with that, I've got 2 of the 3 Halladay rookies graded. So probably I'm going to try to get myself a copy of the Bowman Chrome, and then I'll have all 3. So with Halladay in the Hall of Fame now, it's not terrible to have that in my collection. Alright, by contrast, this next one is nice. I'm happy about this one. So there's a 1957 Topps Tobin Rote. So this is part of the 1957 Topps Packers team set that I've been kind of slowly putting together. This is the only one that I bought raw that I've had sent in for grading. And a bunch of the ones in my set are right around the same condition, so getting a near mint 7 here is nice. It's actually a little more economical, to be honest, to buy a raw copy if you're comfortable enough to go and send it in for grading yourself. Tobin wrote was the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, and this is also the Bart Starr rookie year. So you can see there, passing star of last year's Pro Bowl game, hitting 4 of 6 aerials. So how times have changed. So you go, during the season he tossed the most passes, was tops in completions, yards gained, and touchdown passes. And you can kind of see from there 18 touchdown passes in the year and a 47% completion percentage. So it was very much a very different type of NFL. And the little cartoon also kind of indicates that. Tobin set an NFL record for most passes of 382 in 1954. I'm pretty confident that record didn't stand for that much longer, especially once passing became a bigger part of the game. But it's a nice card to add to the set, so I've got about 2/3 of the set complete now. Since I'm focusing on a few other series, it's going to slow down for a bit, but I will finish that one up eventually. Got to get the Bart Starr and the Paul Hornung. So this is part of a set I'm working on as well. So 1960 Parkhurst. So there's the Jacques Plante. So again, I got the card raw and sent it in for grading. Pretty nice looking card. So VG3. No complaints there. It's a nice looking card too. Visually, I really like the way these cards are with the logo in the back. Kind of cool. So normally I'll just get really beat up versions, but for this set, aside of the really high-end star cards, I decided to go and look for slightly nicer examples. They don't have to be super high-end, but even this for VG3, I'm pretty happy with it. Especially for a Hall of Fame player. So Jacques Plante. Along the same lines, so Boom Boom Jeffrey on. So that's an EX6. Again, pretty decent looking card, nice and crisp. Another card of another Hall of Famer. So no complaints there. I really like the colors on these. They really are very vibrant. They really do come off the page. And in excellent condition, very nice. Alright, next one's part of the same set. So you go, this one's a good 2. This is Tim Horton, so that's the first card in the series. Obviously not quite as nice condition, but the Leafs players you can see have a nice kind of reddish-orange background. But card number 1, Tim Horton. Very nice. I think eventually, since it's 61 cards in the set, I'll probably try to get the whole set graded, but I'm going to take my time on it. I'm going to focus on the stars first, and then we'll see about the commons. The commons, I'm in less of a hurry to get slabbed. So we got a T206 of Jack Quinn. So this is a sweet cap roll, 350/30. Played for the New York Americans at that time. Pretty clean back. Now, I'm going off of memory, but I think Jack Quinn is notable also because I think, if memory serves me, I think he's the only player to be in the T206 set, and also I think in the 33 Gaudy set, because I think this was really early in his career, and the 33 Gaudy set was later on in his career. If that's the case, I think that's right, but if that's the case, I'll put that on the bottom in a little note there, in case I'm correct. If I'm wrong, I will ignore it and pretend I never said anything. But a nice card to get added to the collection, slabbed up. And one more 60 Parkhurst. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So obviously Gordie Howe, I wasn't going to go necessarily for a higher end card like some of the other ones, but that is a key card to the set. Card number 20, Gordie Howe, 1960 Parkhurst. So it definitely made a dent to some of the big star players for this year's set. So we're slowly getting there. I'm getting close to a third of the way there with the commons and everything. I'll chip away at it over time. No big hurry, but I want to have some, at least the cards, even if they're not in super high condition, at least it's a nice looking card. It's not too beat up. So that's a good card to finish up on. As always, appreciate any comments or questions you might have. I'll be happy to try to respond if you have any questions. Thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to check out more videos on my channel. Otherwise, I will see you next time.